Senator Nesselbush would like to make a couple of comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to my fellow Judiciary Committee members, all of whom I know to be kind, dedicated, engaged, and above all, open-minded individuals. To you and everyone gathered here this evening, I say, echoing the late, great Martin Luther King, that we are here for an urgent matter. Dr. King spoke of the fierce urgency of now. He told those gathered, now is the time to make real the promise of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley to the sunlit path of justice. And so I too speak today in unwavering support of marriage equality, because for too long, gay people, through no fault of our own, have been denied the legal protections of state-recognized marriage. The reason I support this legislation is simple, because extending equal access to the law for all is not just the right thing to do, it's the American thing to do, and above all, it's the Rhode Island thing to do. Our state may be small, but we are mighty, and we hold a tremendous place in the history of our great nation. Roger Williams carved out a small piece of land and named it Rhode Island, or God's will. And he declared it a territory of religious freedom and independence. But ladies and gentlemen, Rhode Island did not stop there. Rhode Island was the first of the 13 colonies to renounce our allegiance to the crown, and later, in protest against unjust trade regulations of all things, we set ablaze a British schooner in what today we in Rhode Island still celebrate as Gaspee Day. But Rhode Island did not stop there. When colony after colony ratified the United States Constitution, Rhode Islanders withheld their endorsement until assurances were made that the freedoms in the Bill of Rights would permanently and prominently be included, ensuring those inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And today I say we will not stop here. Rhode Island has always embraced freedom with boldness, yet not now. Now we in Rhode Island embarrassingly trail behind our neighbors like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Connecticut, who have already recognized marriage equality. Once pioneers of religious independence, Rhode Island now fails to keep pace not only with our New England neighbors, but also with Midwestern states like Iowa, with cities like Mexico City and countries like South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen of this committee, we have lost touch with the core values that make our state great. And if we don't enact marriage equality this year, we will end up on the wrong side of history. History is, after all, our best teacher, and history tells us that liberty always triumphs over oppression. History shows us that eventually walls will fall, despotic regimes will be replaced, and freedom will prevail. So it was in Berlin, in Tiananmen Square, in Egypt recently, and soon in Libya, and so too right here in Rhode Island with our own struggle for marriage equality. Just as children today ask their parents why black people could once not marry white people, so too will the children of tomorrow ask their parents why gay people once could not marry. It has been said that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Rhode Island will achieve marriage equality because freedom and justice always prevail. Ladies and gentlemen of this committee, make no mistake about it, the train has left the station. Full equality for gays and lesbians is near. The momentum is building, and the time is now. We are no longer a nation that says, don't ask, don't tell. Rather, we are now a nation that says, E pluribus unum, out of many we are one, and to anyone, gay or straight, who is willing to risk his or her life for this great nation, we simply and unequivocally say, thank you for your service. Momentum is building. We are no longer a nation that can defend the Defense of Marriage Act. In fact, the President of the United States has instructed the Attorney General to no longer defend its constitutionality. Milestone after milestone in the struggle for marriage equality affirms not just tolerability, but inevitability. That is why I sit with you this evening as your colleague and friend, and as a gay woman, asking each of you to rise with me out of the dark and desolate valley. Vote with me to show that we are indeed a state that is still an icon of tolerance and freedom. Vote with me to uphold the ideal that all men and women are created equal, and that we live in a world where truly love will conquer all. My fellow committee members, why would you vote to marginalize anyone? Why would you vote to protect marriage from a fictitious evil? I recall seeing a film recently about Jackie Robinson, the figure who is said to have integrated Major League Baseball. He was good enough to play Major League Baseball, but he was not allowed to eat with or stay in the same hotel as the white players. In the film, his former teammates all said they wished they had acted more courageously, and they were sorry and embarrassed that they had not stood up for their teammate. Ladies and gentlemen of this committee, I am your teammate. The time is now. The time is now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.